Hello, welcome to Slamfire Radio episode 557. Today is May 29th, 2024. I am one of your hosts, Kyle.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Adriel.
And I'm Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hey,
Mr. Uzi.
Mr.
Uzi.
Tom. Yeah.
Welcome.
That's old school.
I just bought some
Long
parts
time
for that
ago.
thing, so I'm keeping up tradition.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you? That's awesome.
Would you-
Do you want to explain how you got the name Mr. Uzi?
Sure.
Okay.
I have a BRS 99,
Yes.
and Matt, the old host from the show, I sent it to him for a review and stuff. Well, and then George from New Shooter Canada started calling me Mr. Uzi because it looked like an Uzi and I had it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It
I
is an
think what
Uzi looking
happened was-
thing.
Yeah, I think that charity shoot number 5, you sent it to Matthew and we used it there too.
Yeah.
And then it went to George and then George was supposed to send it back to you.
Yeah. It went
That's
around.
what happened. So with charity shoot number 5, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I actually think that I sent it back to you.
I think so.
Yeah, somehow I got it. I don't know. I don't know.
Somehow, who knows?
Those days when we were able to track our firearms, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we get right into what we did with guns? And
Cool.
Tom Kyle already started off. So, Tom, why don't you continue? What have you been doing with guns?
Well, not much. I just got a new job, so I've been working training for a long time. But I was on Tactical Imports site on CGN, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they have stuff for the Uzi. So yeah, they have the short barrel, a parts kit,
Cool.
and the barrel nut, and something else I can't remember. But yeah, so now I have that thing with a short barrel and the non-restricted barrel. So I haven't tried it out yet, but should be fun. But
Are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have it there? Do you want to show everybody, or did you change it the barrel already? No.
no, I forgot to order the barrel nut.
Oh,
And
okay.
the non-restricted barrel, you have to take that shroud off to get the barrel nut
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
off, and I don't want to break it. So there's like roll pins in there that hold it somehow, but they're not straight across from each other. On the camera, they're like one's here, and then one's up here like a star.
Yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, I haven't done anything in guns for a long time. Just working. So
Yeah. You getting back into it?
yeah,
Cool.
yes, hopefully. Well, Edson here, at the longest range, I wanted to start up some F-class type of thing this summer. So that looks interesting. And now I switched jobs, so I'll be home every day. So hopefully maybe I can start doing that.
Well, maybe for our listeners who don't know, like what kind of shooting disciplines
Oh.
are you into?
Well, I was into service conditions, shooting with Ryan Stacy out in Chilliwack there, but then they closed that range down, and there's no IPSC or anything around Edson, so it's more or less like precision shooting stuff that I was into,
Mhm.
and service pistol and rifle. So that's all I do. Do the Got Your Six charity shoot the one year, and yeah, IPSC kind of. I'd like to try it, but I have to go all the way to Edmonton to do the course, and then I'm not sure where I would go.
Drayton Valley might be the closest for you. Drayton Valley or
Yeah, 'cause-
Rocky Mountain House would be a bit of a drive going around there.
Yeah, because Drayton's like an hour, just over an hour and a half from my house.
That's not bad. They've got some active IPSC shooters out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Amanda Fisher's out there. She's pretty active in IPSC.
Yeah, just a
Okay.
little bit.
Yeah.
Could
So
you do
you're
badge out there in Drayton or what?
I'm sure they run a black badge course, but whether it aligns with your schedule or not is an entirely different thing. So
Yeah.
trying to find something that aligns with your schedule, you might be stuck trying to go to Edmonton or Camrose or something like that to get your black badge done. But after that, like I know that they do, practices and matches out in Drayton and Rocky Mountain House for that matter.
Okay.
I think Amanda, I think she does. She's one of the instructors for.
I know
the
she was
episode
co-instructing with some people.
match. I know she's an RSO. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think
Hmm.
she was able to actually
Hmm.
be able to put on a course.
Yeah,
Pretty
because
sure.
like we have a really nice
Contact
pistol
her.
bay at the Edson range, but nobody
Yeah.
really uses it for anything except for maple seed. Those maple seed people come every once in a while.
Every once in a while, occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bring me patches.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You earn the patches. You
Yeah.
earn the patches.
Yes, I did, and then I bought a whole bunch more.
You did.
There you go.
And stickers.
So-
I got stickers on all my trucks.
Yeah. So, Tom, if those of you who have taken a maple seed, particularly out here in Ontario, but I know there's a couple throughout the country as well. So Tom was one of the sponsors, initial sponsors for Project Maple Seed, and we're still using the mats that JSR Tactical made, and 2017 when we incorporated.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's cool. They're done now. They
It was
shut
a
down.
while ago, but those are still going strong.
Nice.
They're perfect. Yeah, I know. But everybody, when we use them, everybody's going, "Where'd you get them?" And we talk about this man from Edson, Alberta, who made it happen, and they're asking where can they buy it, and I'm going, "Well, they're out of business." But
Yeah.
the mats are going strong. They're
Nice.
great. They're great mats. They're compact, and yeah, we pull them out.
Nice.
So thank you for doing that.
No problem. That's good to hear that they're still going.
Yeah.
How many mags do you have for the BRS 99?
Yeah.
And are they
Ooh.
5-rounders or 10-rounders?
All right.
5. They're 5.
Mm.
And
I was
they
gonna
have like inside there's 2 metal tabs that are spot welded inside, so the floor plate only goes down right to there. So and they're all they're all welded together. Like you can't take them apart at all. So yeah, I got like 10 mags probably for it.
Yeah, I was just asking because like I was on Amanda's site page and it looks like she's doing some PCC shooting. I don't know where she is, but it could be anywhere actually in Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
But PCC would be another idea. But BRS,
Yeah.
like the BRS, wouldn't be competitive at that. Do you have any other PCCs?
No.
No.
But I'm pretty good with the beer. I also got the railed top cover. That's what else I got for it. So
Oh,
I can
yeah.
throw I have a Trigicon something or other. It's got a post with a green triangle on the top of it.
Mhm.
So it's like a 1-4, something like that. AccuPoint, something or other. Maybe.
Dope.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
You'd
got
need lots of mags, but that would be so fun to run at a match. You'd get lots of reloads in.
yeah. Yeah, the trigger sucks on it, but other than that, I don't know. It's just fun. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's a typical round count like on a PCC match then?
Like 100 or 200 rounds,
Oh, that's not bad.
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Depends if it's like a real big match, like lots of stages, or just a small one, like a after Saturday afternoon kind of a thing, right? Saturday morning.
So for that, does it matter if you shoot like a restricted or a non-restricted PCC,
No.
or is it just run what you bring?
No, it's run what you bring. Unless the match that you're shooting at, the bay isn't certified by the CFO. If it's not certified, it has to be non-restricted only. But most stages and most bays in most ranges are going to be certified. So you're going to be able to run restricted or non-restricted.
Well, I can just talk
if you-
to the CFO because she's my auntie.
That's the better option.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you,
that's ace in
seriously,
your
are you
pocket.
related to her?
Yeah, she's married to my dad's brother.
No
Uncle.
way.
So
Hey.
yep,
That's amazing. She's
yeah.
amazing.
What
She's
an
got
idiot.
like a bigger gun room than I do.
I
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah.
Well, she
And
is.
she has a real Uzi, a real one.
Yeah, she has.
There's
she
a
does-
lot of
have
interesting
profiles.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's kind of she's got a lot of
Wow.
stuff really neat. When I was a kid, there'd be like, because she used to be like a professor at the University of Calgary for some Japanese business or something like that. But there's like katanas and all this Japanese stuff in the house. It's really neat.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you took like your black badge, you could run that the BRS at some IPSC matches.
Yeah,
That would be so funny. You wouldn't be competitive,
no,
but that's fun.
I'd have to buy the holster for it then too on the side of my leg. Like
no
that.
holster required for PCC. No
Okay.
holster required. Yeah. The PCC division, you case them up. That's their thing. But you could do that, or you could use it at Steel Challenge. Oh, you couldn't use it at Steel Challenge.
Oh,
Any
no makeup
stage
shots. No makeup
shots. No makeup shots.
shots.
Prep the chamber, load a new one in, don't miss.
So if you don't need a holster, like for the PCC, why do you need a black badge then?
Because it's more than just a holster. It's like going up range, down range, that kind of thing.
It's getting you prepared for the competition aspect of it and all the safety rules.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you put a loose round on the safety table. Oh, you're DQ'd. Sorry, go home.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff like that where you can, like, some bullshit rule sends you home, and the black badge will stop you from getting nailed on those, or at least reduce them. Reduce them, I think, is the better word.
Reduce the chances. Make you aware of them, whether you remember them or not. Is another.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, something to
Interesting.
Look
Yeah.
Who's next?
at. Kelly, what did you get up to?
This past weekend, I did a quick trip to Calgary. So I went to Alberta for the CCFR AGM, and I got to see a whole ton of people, people who are familiar with the show. So like Mr. Gallen was there, Jason Gallen. He was there. All of the directors for the CCFR were there, as well as Rod Giltaka, obviously Tracy Wilson, and the whole entire, all kinds of different volunteers were there. They did a fantastic job of coordinating the AGM. Food was amazing. A hotel was great. And not only that, we had a great auction. So Jason Phelps, speaking of charity shoot in Drumheller, Alberta, remember when we had the auction there? Well, we also had an auction at the AGM for the CCFR. Raised a lot of money. Really, the community really supported the CCFR, and just it was a really fun night.
Who'd you get to call the auction? That's the biggest
and
mystery,
so
right?
Who did we get to call?
Yeah,
the
who
auction?
called out the
Jason Phelps.
I know. he's pretty when he gets in his happy zone with calling it out, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a very good auctioneer. He's very funny, and he gets the crowd going a little bit. But he's very good at his job. It was a lot of fun. Had some great food, as I said, but the highlight of the evening were guest speakers. So we had the Minister of Justice for Alberta. So he works closely with the CFO and apparently knows your aunt. So Amy is his first name, Mickey Amy. So he was there. He did a great job of speaking about the importance of the community standing up for the rights and gun rights, and what Alberta is doing to currently help with gun owners here in Canada, not just Alberta, but also Canada itself. Then we also had Jim Shockey. He was our guest speaker, our keynote speaker, and I was interested in hearing what he was going to say. For those of you who don't know him, is a huge, he's probably the most prolific. Can I say prolific for Jim Shockey?
Yeah,
I think so, right?
That's fair.
Most prolific hunter. He is a writer, so he's recently written a book, and he also is a TV personality as well. Probably a little bit better known than Slamfire radio hosts.
Just by a
little.
smidge. Yeah.
So he talked about the importance of our heritage and getting behind everyone. So sports shooters, people who are hunters, and people who are just playing etc., to unite as one, and the hunters to get behind those that advocate for all Canadian gun owners. He indicated, or he did say that he knows for sure that it's not just, the black scary guns that are going to be taken. We can see that through C21. A lot of his firearms that he has are on C21, and those are things that are his heritage rifles from his father. That was, and also his kids' firearms too. So he really talked about the importance of everyone banding together, and that includes the hunters of Canada, because I think that's the gap right now, and it has been in the past, but it's getting better. So he talked about how important it is to actually conserve our heritage, because things like hunting for sustenance and teaching our children and building those memories with the children are really, really important, and moving forward with that. So great orator, a really nice man as well. So it was good to see him. I got to see a bunch of people who listen to the show regularly or write into the show, and then also appear on the show as a potential co-host too. So I saw Tony. It was really, really good to meet him in person. I saw a whole bunch of different other people too. So I want to give a shout out to Andrew. He showed up. He was there on work. He's from Ontario, but he was there for work, and he didn't know if he would be staying past the time when the AGM was. So he just showed up on Friday night. We might have been drinking a little bit and hanging out, but he came in, chatted with everybody, and asked if there were still tickets available. We were able to get him into not only the AGM itself, but then also the gala and the auction. So he listens to the show, so I wanted to say hi to him, as well as a whole bunch of other people who just came up and said hello. So it was, yeah. This weekend, what's going to happen is I'm going to be going to I was going to say Alberta, going to Ottawa for the National Range Day, where all the bouncy castles and everything are. It's going up Friday night. We're going to help out with that, doing it on Saturday, obviously, and then we'll come back. Sunday, I have a range day at the range for those that are bringing their pistols to the range, the club level ATT course. And then
Kelly, can I just interrupt for a second? Did you say bouncy castles in Ottawa? I don't think they like those anymore.
They don't. So that's why we're having not one, not two, but three, I believe it is. We're gonna have hot dogs. We usually have cotton candy. We have plinking for the kids. Cowboy action should be there. I think they're doing a demo also for IPSEC. So I wonder where I'll be. I'll probably on the long range, so on the rifle range with the Vortex guys. So yeah, and then I'm going to hang out with my dad and Kelly Kincaid. We're going to sight in some rifles and spend some time with family, because that's what it's all about. Next Tuesday night, I think we're going to record it next Tuesday, but it will go out on a regular time. Melody and Taylor Reich are going to join us on She Shoots, and we're going to record that podcast, and we'll release it the next Tuesday. And I've booked a couple extra maple seats, so those will be on the books tonight, and we'll be sending those out to the club. So getting excited about that. Got maple seats rolling. And that's it for me. What about you, Kyle?
Once again, not a lot, but did get together with a few of the club peeps on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. But I had done up a brisket for that, and we spent too much time eating the brisket and everything, so not much safe planning got done. So we'll try again with maybe some less tasty food, maybe, but yeah, more deliberate. I don't know.
So what you're saying is that you have to make horrible food so people actually pay attention to the planning as opposed to eating.
Well, I mean, it was a fun night, and it was good food, and I made the brisket, and turns out it was really good, coming from Southern people. So bonus there. But yeah, no, we're gonna try again
There you
at
go.
some point when schedules line up, because a couple of them had to leave earlier as well. So yeah. Other than that, I am starting to look into med kits though. I've had the top and doors off my Jeep for the last while, and the other morning my med kit was taken from my back seat. So I had it on the Molly panel on the back seat. So that was gone. Tire repair kit gone, and Nalgene water bottle. So nothing else. Like, I didn't keep any super valuable stuff, and I kind of had the thought, well, if someone steals a first aid kit or a medic kit, then obviously they need it. But yeah, so I'm kind of looking through those, open to suggestions. On a quick look, I've been looking like the My Medic, the MyFac large pro kit. So, but that's,
I think that would be a good basis, but you'd probably want to replace the band-aids with the Hello Kitty band-aids like as soon as possible.
That's yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, the Hello Kitty and the SpongeBob. Yeah.
SpongeBob, good one. Yeah.
But yeah, so if any listeners have any suggestions, I know there's CTOMs, so I went on their website. For one, I don't know if CTOMs actually ships to the US, and they're more of a la carte type thing.
Yeah.
So
I have a couple here that I've built through. We were doing CTOMs, but I've gone over to Andrew and Gavin, and I'm building through them now, so they're supporting us. But it's, you pick what you want in your kit.
yeah, where I want to build it for multiple, so pretty much everything, because it's going to end up being, the reason why I'm looking at the large kit is because I got Molly on the back of the seat, so it will be on me when I go off-roading, overlanding, at the range, whatever. So yeah, it basically everything that I can legally use, because yeah, can't do IVs or anything like that. But
Probably you don't want to get sued down there for using the wrong thing, eh?
well, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta be a little more careful. Well, I think they still have Samaritan laws down here, but everyone is a little more lawsuit happy, I guess.
Yeah.
But and then
Litigious is the word.
what's the word?
Litigious is the word.
Excuse you.
Litigious.
And that, I had a listener reach out after last week's show to clarify a couple things on the IPSC stuff. So I guess production optics light was referring to weight, not illumination. It was a provisional division that has since been removed. And then I guess standard optics is being looked at, but not proposed as a division yet. So few things that I had mentioned on the last show that there's some clarification. So that was from Tyler. Thank you. And really, that's it for me. Adriel, how about you?
I did a PAL course, private one. That was awesome. That was just last weekend here. Good people. Yeah, good fun. I bought some more 223, buddy of mine in Calgary. Dave, he's been on the show. He was like, yo, there's a guy selling some really cheap 223. And I looked, and the guy was asking for like $650 per 1,000, and he had 2,000. I said, how about $600 per 1,000? He's like, yeah, okay. So I boogied on down. Bought all of his ammo, all of his 5.56. He got a B&T 9mm.
Oh,
He's like, yeah, I got this B&T 9 now, so I just want to use that. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just shooting at Phoenix. And I said, oh, you should go shoot like Steel Challenge or 3-gun, or
yeah.
So I gave him some ideas on what he could be doing with that. Okay, so I got 2 courses coming up this weekend, PAL and an RPAL. I didn't need guns for it, so I finally managed to disable this thing. This is a Ruger Wrangler. It's actually quite easy to disassemble when you get access to the part. It's got like a firing pin like right there. All you need to do is unscrew it. It's got like a little security bit to get on there. Doesn't seem that bad, but there's a plate in the way. See that plate? Transfer plate. The transfer plate only goes down when the trigger is released and the hammer goes down. So you can't get in there. So you need to take the whole stupid thing apart, take the hammer down, take this plate down, and then you can get a screwdriver into the back of that thing just to get that little screw-in firing pin out of there. But now that it's out, this thing can live on as a PAL instruction gun. This Tokarev was quite a bit easier. There's a little pin right there. We just knock the pin out, the firing pin comes out, and you're done. That's it, right?
Nice.
The only thing I don't like about this one is that there's no safety other than pulling it to half cock.
No external
Not
safety.
ideal. And technically, like, there's no half cock on the Ruger either. It's just
Well,
either
it's a single
fully cocked,
action, yeah.
yeah, or a decock. That's it. No half cock on that thing. Some of them have a half cock, not this one, but this one does. And no other safety on the Tokarev, just the half cock. I guess. Would you consider this a safety? The loading gate? You can't use the hammer. You can't use the hammer once the loading gate's like that, or the trigger. Neither of them work.
Not consider that a safety.
I wouldn't either. I was just thinking about it, like when students get their hands on it, they try all kinds of things. They're like, oh, this kind of works. And I'm like, well, I guess kind of, yeah. I had someone just disassemble the Winchester Wildcat because they saw the red button on the back and they're like, oh, I got red's dead. I got to cover that up. And they pushed it in and the trigger, the guts fell out of it. I was like, that was amazing. I've never seen anyone do that before. What else I do? Okay, yeah. So I've got these. I've got another instructor that's going out with me. He's got a full kit, so we're good to go for that event. I printed a magwell for the Ruger PC carbine. So a buddy of mine's shooting one of those competitively, and he's like, "Hey, can you do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." So I printed one, and it's bigger. It's very big. I got some photos on the Discord if you're interested in that. I think that's all I've been up to. I think that's all I've done.
Oh, that's a short one.
I can't be certain. Yeah, just a PAL course and bought a bunch of stuff. I'm doing another 2 PAL courses next weekend. And after that, no PAL courses. Just a 3-gun match? No, Maple Seed. Maple Seed after that. And then a 2-day 3-gun match after that. Maybe a break after that. Maybe I'll take a 1-weekend break in between 2 months of solid weekends of shooting activities. Maybe. I doubt it.
All right. Well, let's get into upcoming events. And so for 3-gun matches on June 1st, so this weekend, Chaz 3-gun. They're in Edmonton. On June 7th, Canadian Multi-Gun Series at Guelph Run Gun Club. On June 9th, yeah, that's weird. I think we mentioned that before. Friday the 7th, it's 7th to June 8th. So
it might just be a typo.
Yeah, might be.
I copied from the thing on CGN, but maybe it's a typo.
Yeah. Okay. June 9th, CDTSA 3-gun. That's at Milo. On June 15th, Sherwood Park multi-gun team match. On June 22nd, Mighty Peace 3-gun. And then that's your June 3-gun events. There are some Maple Seeds. Adriel, Kelly, who wants to take those on?
I can do those if you're not on there, Kelly.
Cool.
Your internet's cutting in and out too. That must be the tornadoes or something like that are swirling. This weekend, May 31st, Nova Scotia AMA. There's still spots available for that. So if you're in the Nova Scotia area, AMA, head over to mapleseedraifleman.com/events. Peace River, that's June 8th, coming up next weekend after. I don't know. I'll be there. That one's still got a couple spots left. Kananaskis, June 8th is sold out, and June 9th is not. So there's still spots there. June 9th, Armstrong's is sold out. Elmira is sold out. So those are all sold out. After that, Manitoba, Broken Head River Game and Fish has got some spots available. That's on mapleseedraifleman.com. Big Boot Gun Club has, is that women's one sold out yet? I know it was really close. The Saturday is not sold out. The Sunday, that's ladies only, I think, it still has a couple of tickets. So that one's still available. After that, July 6th will be in Red Deer at Blindman Valley. And I think, that's 30 days. Good enough.
Cool. Reminder,
Cool,
June 1st is... What's that, Kelly?
Thanks.
Okay. June 1st is National Range Day, so check with your local range and see how many bouncy castles they have there, and go support your local range and go have a fun day at the range shooting and make
And
the
if you don't
federal
mind,
government upset.
I can just show, so that if you go to nationalrangeday.ca/events, you'll be able to see which ranges are doing it in your area. So you can kind of click on them and see what's going on, directions, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Red Deer Fishing Game, the Shooting Edge, Lake Windermere,
Looks
Cranbrook,
like Wapiti
yeah,
is registered on there too.
Whitecourt, Barton's Back Alley.
Oh, okay.
I don't see, yeah, just Barton's Back Alley.
I imagine
Is it really in a
Wapiti's
back
doing
alley?
something as well, but maybe.
Search kilometer. Yeah, give me all of the ones.
All
I
of
just want
them.
to see them all. Yeah. It's probably going to be too many, huh? Yeah, they're all over the place. Yeah. We're just looking on the map right now. Lots of different places available.
Perfect. Then on June 22nd, there was a 1,000-yard steel challenge at CFB Borden. It is on Practice Score. If you go to Practice Score, search up 1,000-yard steel challenge RCMI. You'll be able to find that. And yeah, go
Dave
check
says
that
to
out.
mention the KD at Borden.
The KD at Borden.
Known
Yep.
distance.
Known
It's a
distance.
Maple Seed thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's happening on the 9th of June. I believe it's 9th of June. Sunday's the 9th. The 8th is just a regular maple seed. You have to be a rifleman to shoot the known distance. So I believe that so I was just talking to Rick about it. Rick's going to be the shoot boss on the known distance. And yeah, so the
If you don't mind,
let me
Kelly,
see,
I'll just
that's on the 8th. I believe there's still spots available. Go ahead.
yeah, I'll cut in just to let people. So a known distance event, Maple Seed is all at 25, right? It's all at 25. You can use a 22, or you can use a full power rifle. Who cares? Depending on the match or the event. A known distance is you shooting at 100, 200, 300, and 400 from different shooting positions at all the same target, but at different distances. So at the 400, it's harder. At the 300, it's easier. To 100 is easiest, right? So at the 100, you'd be doing standing. The 200 would be doing standing to seated. The 300 would be standing to prone transition. And the 400 would be just your prone accuracy. So you need a center fire rifle, something maybe in 5.56, maybe in 308, something like that. You'll want to know your dope, and you'll want to bring a pile of ammo to that thing and be ready to fire a whole bunch.
So when are you coming to my house for that?
Sounds fun, right? I want to do that.
Yeah, Edson
First
would be
I
perfect
need
for that.
First, I need that to be to have a certificate so I can go shoot with that thing. Actually, I'd probably want a scope, right? Shooting at 400 on paper.
I would.
Probably want a scope. I get it steel with a red dot, but that's anywhere, not necessarily in the scoring area. Probably want a scope for that. What would I even shoot for that?
So is it like round, like shoot 2 rounds, change mags or anything like that? Like normal Maple Seed? Or is it just like a 10-round mag the whole time or what?
I think it's just like a regular Maple Seed, 2 and 8 and all that kind of stuff. Because like a regular Maple Seed is a scaled down U.S. Army thing that they do with M1 Garands. So this is a scaled back up center fire thing, right?
Yeah.
The Carcano.
Because I always want to try, like, your Tom Sticks talk about them, like on the Armed Scrolls podcast back in the day about the known distance ones at Appleseed there. I always thought that'd be fun to try.
I'll
probably
put a scope on
here
my.
and try this. There it is, right there.
Yeah, nice. That's the right rifle for a KD.
Yeah, there you go.
ERS.
Put this rail thing on here and put a scope on there.
Yeah,
maybe like a Night Force or something, right?
I have a 8-32 by 56 Night Force on my Tika.
Yeah, swap it over.
Put a red dot on the Tika, put the scope on the BRS. Yeah. That's where it belongs.
I want Uzis with lasers on them.
Yeah.
Makes it more accurate. Then you can shoot that long range stuff, right?
From the hip with a laser.
From the hip.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
So that's the known distance stuff.
Yeah.
And then the last kind of event we got is Ken Hum of P3 Shooting Supplies, Shooting Specialties, I can't remember which one it is running a black badge course June 1st and 2nd at Canmore. And we kind of took a look before the show, and it is pistol or PCC. Basically, register for the course and bring what you intend to shoot, or what you can. If you got a pistol and do it, or you
Shotgun.
can borrow one, go grab your pistol.
Bring a pump
Yeah.
shotgun.
Yeah, absolutely. Force them to do the
Buck
non-restricted, the long gun one, not just PCC. But yeah, so that's happening. Where was registration for that?
Go on his
Adriel?
Facebook. He's on
Just-
Facebook. P3
Okay.
Shooting Specialties.
Okay. Do you have any available PAL courses coming up or no? Still
Nah.
far out?
Nah, they're all like sold out.
Okay.
Till I got some in August, I guess. If you want something in
Okay.
August or October.
All right. We'll get into new gun stuff. New gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. Need a new boomstick? Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR. With a wide selection of guns and top trending gear for any shooter. They have free shipping over $250. Some exclusions do apply, and they also have $17 flat rate shipping for orders below $250. You can also subscribe to their weekly newsletter to get first access to their hottest deals.
Speaking of the hottest, they have the hottest in new maple seed rifles right here. I don't know if you guys seen this yet or not. This is a CSA VZ, depending on how Canadian you want to be. 61 Combat Scorpion 22 LR, 25 rounds restricted. It's not a pistol, so they can use rifle mags for it, and therefore 25 rounds.
Nice.
This is not a pistol. This is a rifle, but it's a restricted rifle. So $1,100.
Would still be fun.
Look how dope this thing is.
Yeah.
It folds down. It has a wire stock. That's horrible to shoot from.
Yeah, but that top folder.
You need that.
For maple seed, right? Can I expense
You need
it? Can I expense one for maple seed?
Maybe they can sponsor you and like send you one for free.
Bullseye?
Yeah.
Well, I think maple seed should, because I need this as a loaner rifle. It's 22. It's perfect. Irons.
There you go.
Right, Kelly? Kelly agrees. Silence is
Correct.
acceptance. Yeah.
I'm struggling right now.
Okay. More maple seed firearms accessories. Marstar has a new 12 gauge under barrel shotgun that they've got. There's a single shot, kind of like a rotating thing. Wait, they got some more. They got some better photos.
Just seeing that thumbnail looks awesome.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Does this play? If I play this, will you guys? Yeah, you can see, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can't hear.
It's like a master key.
Yeah, exactly, like a master key. Fire it, and then it rotates down. Pull out. Throw the new shell in there. I suppose I could make this bigger. Hey. Well, that
You
looks
could even
cool.
shoot 12 gauge flares out of it.
Oh, I don't
Working
know.
well. Just slam it there,
going
dude.
real well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a prototype. Here.
Yeah.
This is what their prototype looks like.
I love the multiple attempts to close it and then screw it where it's still open, and he just goes on to talk about some other feature.
Yeah.
of it.
It's a prototype. It's a
Yeah.
prototype. Still, pretty cool. Except I think the
it's
price
like
is really
a
expensive on these.
It's like a no-inch barrel.
Yes. Yes. it is.
Yes. Yeah, it's got threads on it though. There's threads on it, so you can put something on it.
Yeah, but those are
Anyway.
external threads, so that you're putting a comp on this thing.
I don't know what you put on there. I don't know that you could put it much on there, because if you did, it would like tilt up into whatever gun you were shooting, right?
Yeah,
So you couldn't put a
And
long barrel on
it
there, or a
really
pump or anything.
wouldn't do anything. I don't think.
Don't know.
Very interesting.
Tennis ball launcher. While we're on Bullseye, they've got the new 2024 model Caldwell Ballistic Chronograph with Bluetooth for $159. It's no Garmin Zero, but it's also a little bit less.
How much is one of those Garmin ones?
$799
Oh wow.
everywhere. That's their price everywhere, unless you can find one at like used or something like that. Cabela's had a couple of sales on. I think one of the ones that looked kind of interesting was they had the Winchester Wildcats for $299 with a rebate of $30. Yes, $30. That takes it down to $269. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Like even the Savage 64 is like 200 plus. So, and this is better than a Savage 64. Anywho, that's all I could find.
Okay. Cool.
Meters.
And that will roll right into the main topic. So, for our application, Tom wanted to go over RPALs and whether it is worth it or not for a new shooter to go and get their RPAL. So, Tom, you want to take it away?
Yeah, well, a lot of people I work with, I work in an oil field, so I'm always running into like electricians and instrumentation guys and mechanics and whatever. A lot of money in the oil patch, so everybody has money to buy cool things. But also, everybody believes everything they hear on TikTok and whatever, and people are, what do you mean you can have a pistol? It's like, well, you can't buy them or sell them, but you can still own them and take them out and go shooting and lend them out and shoot matches and whatever. And there's just a huge misnomer right now that even like restricted rifles or firearms in general are, and so then anyway, these people don't want to waste their time and money getting an RPAL because they think that there's no point to getting one because you can't use anything anyways. So I'm just like, Adriel, have you noticed anybody like wanting to take your courses or anything saying that they don't want to waste their time getting the R stamp on their PAL or because of anything like that?
Very few actually. When I do my PAL courses, I ask people, "Oh, you think you're going to get your RPAL?" And the people who say no have a good reason to say no. Like they didn't need it. They had no use for it. They're getting it because their significant other has hunting firearms in the house, and they wanted to be able to match their license so that they could handle the guns.
Yeah.
So like they're never going to get an RPAL, but pretty much everyone else is like, yeah, when are you going to do one of those? For a couple of different reasons, but yeah, no, it's actually been quite popular, way more popular than I thought it was going to be. We'll put it that way. I didn't think anyone would want one.
Okay. I think people are still anticipating that the gun laws will change, that people will be able to own restricted. Yeah, people will be able to own restricted firearms, and they want to be prepared when that happens. They want to be able to own a pistol. They want to be able to own an AR-15.
Yeah, and actually be able to take your AR-15 out.
Correct. Well, I can still own
reassemble
it.
your AR-15 and then take it out.
Yeah.
Replace all the parts you used for other builds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, right?
No, the other builds immediately get stripped.
Yeah.
Gun nuts will be just swamped with parts.
Yeah.
Don't lowball me. I know what I have.
All those WK 180s that'll be on sale.
Yeah. Well, I'll be. I'm gonna make some money. Okay. Well, that's what I'm always after. But hear me out for a second. Okay. Let's say handguns are all of a sudden restricted again, and you can buy them. I'm going to sell half of the handgun. I'm not going to sell my competition stuff because I'm going to need to use it, and I don't know when I'll be able to replace it. But everything else has a price. Everything else has a price. That price is high. And as soon as it's legal again, I'm going to sell it all for like 2x retail. And then I'll rebuy as soon as it's back in, because people will be so desperate to get a handgun that I'll be there. I'll serve that need for a cost.
Just helping out.
For
You're so
money.
compassionate.
You know, Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob SquarePants, right here.
Money, 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 money.
But yeah, like I think it's totally worth it to get it. Like I always tell people, just get it because then you have it, and who knows, maybe they might make it so you can't get it if you don't already have it or something stupid, you know. So
well, the paperwork backup is going to be extreme when it does
correct.
go back in. Yeah, that's going to be off the hook.
Yeah, it's bad enough now as it is.
Actually, right now it's not that bad. I've had to call in twice this week, and I've gotten through with no wait time both times.
Oh wow.
I think
Well,
it's because there's no one calling in for anything right now.
I was just going to say, there's nothing to call in for anymore.
Yeah.
So Tom, when you're telling people like, yeah, still get it, is it your main thing for the future, or do you feel like there's stuff right now that an RPAL go and do with an RPAL?
Yeah, for both, because like a lot of people, you know, like new shooters and stuff, like especially around Edson anyway, there's no IPSC here, but we have this huge long range. So most people just, you know, they'll go buy a KDEX or, you know, some fancy thing from Prophet River that costs $8 million. And then they're like, well, what's that square gravel pit thing down there? Well, that's the pistol bay. Well, pistols are illegal. You can't own pistols or shoot pistols. So like, for me, I want both. We need to keep people getting their RPALs, to keep participating in our sports, to keep our traditions alive, right? And then hopefully the election goes the way we want it to, and all this stuff gets repealed, and then they'll have it. Then they won't have to. Because that's what I tell them too. I'm like, well, you get it, because maybe they might change the law so you can't get it if you don't already have it, and then when the law changes, you don't have to wait, because RPAL courses will probably be like extra full.
Yeah.
And then you'll already have it. And then you can just, you know, go buy something right away. And then, you know, you already have your black badge or whatever. And then another thing too, a lot of people, and I don't even know how it works, like to borrow a pistol, because people want to borrow mine, but I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about how to go about doing it.
You call in your side and you say, I want to borrow my handgun to this person. And then that person calls in and they say, yeah, I want to borrow a handgun from that person. Yeah, it's that one. And then they give that person an ATT, borrowing ATT, and you borrow it to them.
Okay, so how long is that ATT good for then?
I don't know. Long time.
How long do you want to borrow it to them for?
However long you need it.
So,
but they have to possess a.
Yeah, they have to have
so they
have to have
a restricted.
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's another reason why you should get your RPAL, is because you can't buy anything, but you can borrow stuff. So if you want to get into something that you need an RPAL for, then you just get your RPAL and you can borrow. And
you might be able to buy for work too. I had a couple of ladies trying to get into one of my RPAL courses because they were going up north to do some Canada Resources stuff, and they were getting handgun licenses for wilderness protection. So they might be able to get it for work because that was a work thing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard the borrowing thing. I've heard the government's going to change over. I was just going to get it right now, anyways. And then as soon as the laws change, I'll be first in line. I've heard that. And then some people, like the guy I bought the ammo off of, he had his B&T was restricted. He opted for the shorty one because the shorty B&T 9 is fucking cool. It's like so cool. Why get the long barrel one? That short one's way cooler. Well, if it's an option. Oh,
like, I think that's
sweet.
a valid point, because like you got the Bren 2, the B&Ts. I think there's more available restricted, because everyone's, as soon as the non-restricteds come in, either they have to rebarrel them to make them non-restricted, or everyone's buying up the non-restricted.
Yeah, correct. So you can get the restricted ones for like $1,000 less.
Yeah, you're not paying the tax on the
and our restricted tax. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else can you do with it?
So it's not. So it's easy to get that 18. Like, because when I used to go to Chilliwack, I would say, okay, I'm leaving my house on this day. They
Yep.
wanted to know what day, what time,
Uh-huh.
if I was driving straight there, where the rifles and pistols were going to be stored, where we were staying out there, and
Everything. Yeah.
oh yeah, it was. And they actually called the hotel and asked if we were staying there for what nights.
Really?
And they called, yeah, and then they called
Ooh.
the base commander dude at Chilliwack and said, "Oh, do you guys have a weapons lockup?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're all in there, you know." And it's like,
So the base commander says, "You know what? You have no right to
You have no
no access.
jurisdiction.
So
You have
go
no power here."
consult."
but it was weird too because sometimes they would check to make sure you had your short-term ATTs
Yeah.
while you were shooting like on the Chilliwack military range, and I'm just like, I don't know. It was
You have
just
to have
dumb.
special. You do have to have special ones for the base. Believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah,
And out
but
of province too.
and out of province
you
too.
need- Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never had them like where you like do the.
I've
the
never had
whole
them call my
phone the
hotel
whole-
or anything.
Granted, most of the time I was camping at
Yeah.
the range, so.
Yeah.
You're gonna call the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, bears. We being okay. So when we were doing our calendar shoot in Alberta, they called the Airbnb of where we were staying,
Really?
which caused some issues.
I would say so. Yeah.
Which caused some issues.
Wait a minute,
We
you guys stayed
knew
at an
you were gonna
Airbnb
have
or a VBRO?
No, it was Airbnb.
Why would they
So-
do that though? Why would they call an Airbnb? and say, like,
Exactly.
"Oh, why did they do that?
Right? Because
Did you
they're
call them afterwards
assholes.
and be like, "Yo, what's up your butthole? Like, why are
Yeah.
you calling the Airbnb? Like, yeah, I'm staying. I told you where I'm staying. What's the like? They don't need to know that. What's the deal?
Yeah.
So the Ontario person called the
Well-
Airbnb, right? Not the Alberta side.
I believe it's the Alberta side.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be calling up the CFO and ask them
Yeah.
why they did that. That seems silly. That seems like okay. Like, what are you doing? Investigating? What's the point?
Oh, yeah.
I don't see any world where that makes sense to do.
Yeah. Well, you're being forthright with information. Like,
Yeah.
And it doesn't
You know,
like
it
no
doesn't
one's
matter.
doing crime with an ATT'd handgun.
No.
Like, well, yeah, it's a restricted handgun, and I'm telling the government, I'm giving them a list of all the places I'm going. No one's going to commit a crime with a handgun like that.
It's a
That's
bunch
silly.
of women taking pictures for a calendar. Do you think we're doing crime? Hell no. Oh well.
I wonder if they told the Airbnb person that.
That
In
is
the Airbnb, they're going to be taking some photos.
that is correct.
That's
Yes.
correct. Yeah, I could see how that could cause some issues.
That's crazy. Yeah, they get pretty nosy.
Why? It's so silly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So what do you think? I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna turn it around. Do you think it's important that people get their RPALs? Do you think people should be getting their PALs now? Do you think people should be borrowing pistols so that they can do black matches? So when they, we do get our pistols back, that they can get them right away and go and shoot them. So
and
I'm just
actually use them
making
for
a case you,
something.
aren't I?
Well, yeah, and then
Yeah.
the thing too is if the numbers start to decline, the government's going to be like, oh well, no one does it anyway, so that's the next thing that's going to be. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that, and they're like, well, our numbers keep dwindling, so no one's gonna really notice, right? Because there won't be very many of us to complain about it.
Well, our numbers are going to be dwindling because we're no longer able to have pistols. We're no longer able to purchase them. We're no longer able to. So we do need our RPAL courses run.
Exactly.
And there will be a change in government. And when there is a change in government, hopefully we'll be able to get our pistols back, and as well as our AR-15s.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people too that think, it's not a tinfoil hat, but they're like, oh, well, because the gun control thing's not actually working the way they want it to. So that's why, you go to Adriel, that Canadian Tire on the south side, the double-decker 2-level Canadian Tire by IKEA?
It's
a
amazing.
pound of powder there is like $120. So everybody's convinced that since they can't, take all our guns away and whatever, they're just gonna make everything so unaffordable. Take away the source to make ammunition, so reloading is not even worth it anymore. All these people, there's lots of people that are just like getting out of everything because they can't afford to shoot anymore. The price of ammo, it's like $10 for a box of 22 ammunition for 50 rounds, and $100 for a pound of powder. You can't even find primers hardly anymore.
That situation's getting better. Not for
Yeah.
a large rifle or a large rifle magnum, but everything else is like findable right now.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like it's just an uphill battle. And you try to convince people that to stay in it for the long run, and get your RPAL, get your PAL. You can borrow stuff. Go shoot. Like just do it while you can at least.
I think people are also prioritizing things like food and rent as well as the
Lame.
ability to lame. But that's the truth. They can't afford to shoot right now, but they can afford to take their RPAL, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think anyone's going to sit there and regret
I do believe things will
taking
change
the
a little bit.
course.
I'm hoping.
They might regret not taking the course. Oh man, I really wish
taking it.
I had that, but they're not going to regret. Man, I wish I had never taken this course and gotten this extra letter on my license.
Yeah, exactly. It's like back in the day at Army and Navy downtown Edmonton, they had like barrels of FNs that if you had one before they went prohib, then I could have some FNs in grandfather to me or whatever,
They'd just be sitting in your safe. You wouldn't.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
no.
you wouldn't be able to shoot them or anything, anyways.
Oh, you mean like our AR-15s?
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm on ours.
Swiss arms. Like honestly, I gave up trying to keep track of what was on the list. Like the next day, SKSs. I'm like, no, they're not on the list. I'm like, hopefully, because I don't even know. So then I'm like texting my aunt. I'm like, hey, is blah 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 prohibited now? No, where'd you hear that? I'm like, well, I don't know. I just heard it. Never mind. It's okay.
The internet. The answer is the internet.
It's on Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reddit is terrible. Oh my god.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Facebook kicked me off years ago, so I'm like, oh, what's this Reddit thing? And then it's pretty bad on there too. So
yeah, it's got its moments.
Yeah, I found you on there though, Adriel.
On Reddit, I'm on there.
Yeah.
I'm all over the Reddit. It's good promo and like its basic functionality is just better than a forum, right? The ability to like upvote or downvote topics and comments makes for a better, more active like discussion. But there's definitely a left bias on the site as a whole.
Oh, huge.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot of media though. A lot of media is like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, RPAL. Yeah, I would say that if my kids were over the age of 18 and they were going to go get their PAL, I'd say I'd get your RPAL at the same time. Especially me, because if they wanted to go shoot, I could be like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Shoot it, right? Go to the range and shoot this toke. Take it. Go ahead,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And another thing too is junior PALs.
Mm-hmm.
Like for people under 18 can get a junior PAL.
Mm-hmm.
And legally you're allowed to buy ammunition with that thing, but no stores will let you. They're like, oh, it's against the store policy. Like,
I wanted to try that at Cabela's. I'm going to try that one of these days. I'm going with my youngest, my 12-year-old. I'm going to take him and his card and give him my debit card and say, go buy this ammo.
Yeah. Do it.
Well,
like 1,000 rounds of SKS food or something like that, right? Not even like a small thing, like a little box of 23. Nah, 1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because they wouldn't let my daughter at Canadian, or I can't remember if it was Canadian Tire or Walmart. I can't remember in Edson. But through the Junior Force Ranger program, they got them their junior PALs, and then
that's cool.
She wanted to go shooting, so I'm like, well, you got your card, you got your first paycheck. Let's go get some ammo and go to the range. And they're like, nope, can't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Is it like a liquor store where if you go in and she's like, fine, and she like hands it to you and you pay for it because they like kick you out?
Well, with my other daughter, she was like 20 or whatever, and we went into the liquor store together, and she was like pointing at Pink Whitney. She was trying to explain to me what that stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, it's right there. It's that stuff. And then we got kicked out because she was pointing at something. And I'm like, she's like 24. Well, you're going to buy it for her. I'm like, she's 24. I'll buy it for her anyway. Like, I'm the guy with the money.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, the junior pals are good for buying ammo. If they want to hunt with the firearm and not be within arm's reach. Legally, they have to be within arm's reach if they're using a firearm. And then once they turn 18, you can just submit. I want my real one now, and no retaking the course. You're done.
Yeah, it's a good way to fast track it for sure.
That's why my kids got theirs. It
Yeah.
wasn't just because I was doing it.
Oh, sorry.
Mostly for the hunting. I'm gonna buy the ammo. They're never gonna buy their own ammo for now. But for hunting, I could hand either of my kids a shotgun and say, go shoot some grouse, and they can go do that without me right there. And I trust them. So I want them to be able to do that. I did that when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Consensus is yes. Get your pal.
Go get your RPAL
Yeah.
as well as your pal.
Beat the rush. Borrow pistols. Buy rifles. Yeah. Do it.
And crossbows. Buy them all.
Crossbows.
I got a crossbow at Canadian Tire for free with my Canadian Tire money.
Any like flaming arrows with it? Go all full Rambo with it?
No.
I'd want to get a flaming arrow. I don't have a
I want the
flaming arrow for my
explode.
bow
I
and
want the
arrow.
exploding tip arrows.
The ones with the 357 rounds in them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Point
going to
that
get some
way
of
and
the
they
Philot to try. That'd be cool.
Is it illegal? Would that be illegal in Canada? It feels like it would be.
I feel like it would not.
What
be.
do you think?
Who knows? Well, what if you like had an arrow and you attached like a shotgun shell holder, so when it hits, it pierced the shotgun primer, and
I bet you your shotgun shell holder would be considered a firearm.
yeah,
And therefore a short-barreled firearm, and therefore a prohibited firearm, and therefore federal pound me in the ass penitentiary in your future.
So try it at someone else's house.
Try it at someone else's house.
So this
Sorry,
show
Kelly,
is
go
for
ahead.
I was just going to say for this show is for entertainment purposes only for those that are listening. Just FYI.
Sporting rifle saying, why not
Never
legal? It's
seen
below
anybody.
500 FPS. Yeah, as long as your explosive tip arrow is below 500 FPS, I'm sure it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Taser's below 500 FPS. That's good too, right?
Yeah, or just use a slingshot, then for sure you're good, right?
Indeed.
All right, we'll get on to listener feedback. Adriel, you want to take the email for tonight?
Yeah, sure. It's nice and quick. Good evening, Slamfire Radio. Didn't have time to type this week. Remember National Range Day on Saturday. Tony, yes, that's why I put the link in there. If you're around Calgary, see you at the BTSA. Good night. I will write some more about the CCFR AGM next week. Best regards, Tony of Calgary.
Cool.
Yay.
And I
That's
get
it?
the YouTube comments up here. So first bunch are from last week's episode. Tony is on there saying sorry for the poor performance. Lots of and ah. I think he did fine.
That was me.
I think that's all of us.
He did great. He came really prepared. I love that
Yes.
because we prepare so much for our episodes.
Absolutely. Well prepared.
Not at all.
Next bunch are from Eddie. There's Cowtown Tony for new host. Now, if Random Dave could become regular Dave, we'd have a full slate of hosts. And he goes on 556, the NATO episode. Yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on that one.
I mentioned
wait.
it. Nobody
Did you?
else did. But whatever.
Can't wait till you reach another one, 762. And
There you
then
Oh God, that means it's another couple of years. Oh my God.
I'm sure we'll find something in between there.
Okay.
And he says, Tony, if they do away with the manual action divisions, you can claim to be the last champion of that division from here on until they reinstate it. If you're really into reloading, you can use a primer flash hole uniforming tool on that Norman 9mm brass to open and uniform it. It'll also make your 9mm reloads more accurate. The Browning high power factory mag holds 13 rounds, but there are flush fit aftermarket mags that hold 15. That its advantage is the slimmer grip, which fits small to medium-sized hands better than the P226 and way better than the monstrous Beretta 92. From what I've heard, you won't want a surplus Canadian Forces high power unless you're a collector. They're all shot out and loose. And yeah, that's the point I was trying to get, is the Canadian Forces high powers, they are, from what I heard as well, they are not good at all, and they were just robbing parts off other pistols to fix other pistols.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tony had a couple responses there, but I'll let you guys go read it. And then last comment from last week's episode, we have one more after that, is regarding all the Shadow 2s out there. You would be surprised at how many target pistol collectors there are out there. If you recall, about a couple decades ago, the mainstream media released a list of handguns with names and serial numbers redacted. It was available online, and you could search by the first and third characters of a postal code. I tried it and was shocked to see how many Walther GSPs there were in the area, starting with my first 3 postal code characters. These are multi-$1,000 pistols. I was heavily involved in ISSF pistol shooting, and there wasn't 1/3 of the number of shooters at the range or provincial matches using a GSP. Keep in mind, I only searched the first 3 characters of my postal code, which would amount to maybe a few dozen blocks. There had to be a lot more in the metropolitan area and province, so I'm not surprised about all the Shadow 2s coming out of the woodworks now. So, and then our last comment is on episode 549. It's from Samad. Just started listening to your podcast. I'm liking it. Question, please. Where can we find Stop the Bleed courses in Calgary? I don't know the answer to that one.
You can't.
You go to Stop the
Dave,
Bleed.
Dave was looking for him,
Sorry?
and Dave from Foothills Firearms, he was looking for them in Calgary. Couldn't get them. He actually paid to get a guy from Edmonton to go down and teach him there, because he wanted to get all his instructors.
There's nobody in the Calgary area that delivers that?
Not that I know of.
Really? Cool.
Browning announced ceasing production of their
normally
BPS shotgun, pump shotgun. Yeah, I don't know that there's a lot of use case for the BPS. There's lots of other like very inexpensive shotguns and then very nice shotguns at the same time. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that is it for YouTube. Haven't seen anything on Instagram, Facebook, Discord. There was actually a little bit of chatter over the last couple of days. There's some wine being made, some magwells being made, and posts getting banned. So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff happening.
Who got banned?
Just reporting Facebook posts getting banned. Discord didn't ban any posts.
Okay. I'm going, really? Discord? Ban somebody?
No, they usually leave us alone and let us moderate ourselves. Which is kind of cool.
Strictly speaking, you can't buy or sell handguns on Discord.
No,
but
you cannot.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is fine.
But you can rent them. There's your new business, Adriel. You can rent your handguns.
Negotiate renting of handguns on Discord.
Yeah. Instead of just lending them out, you can rent them out.
It's it's possible, but let's say you have a fixed number of handguns, and let's say they start breaking. Let's say the frames start breaking or wearing out. Those handguns are stuck. You can't do anything with them unless you bring out the MIG welder and
there you go.
Say a prayer to God while you TIG weld or MIG weld that thing and get it going, because that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Fix a cracked frame or something like that.
Well, if those dudes in the caves in Afghanistan could, make copies of everything known to man,
should be able to do it with my $200 Chinese MIG welder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of the Shadow 2s, the first gen, where they didn't like beef up the frame, so I keep checking it for cracks, and there's no cracks yet. But one of these days, I might have to MIG weld it, and then MIG weld it again after that crack fails, and then weld it again after that weld fails, and put a bunch of booger welds on it, and then just weld them
And
on.
sooner or later, you'll just send it to Matt Porth in Calgary to finally fix the slide altogether.
The frame, maybe.
Frame slide, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is he gonna MIG weld it better than I can? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he can.
JB welder.
So when all the slides were breaking on all the IPSC open guns, that's who everyone was sending their slides to fix.
I'll send it to Matt then.
Some point we'll get a Cabela's and Brownell's list.
Maybe next
together.
month.
Next month?
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, maybe next month.
All right. But if you are shopping online at either Cabela's or Brownell's, head to our website first. We got links on the front page, just in the sidebar. Click on that. Won't cost you anything more, but they'll give us a little kickback from whatever you buy online. And usually about once a month, we look at all the purchases and list them right here on the show. We'd like to also thank our supporters on Patreon and Player. If you want to support us, you can go to those platforms and find us there as well. And if you'd like to send the show an email, you can send it to slamfireradio@gmail.com, and we will read it live on the air.
Maybe.
Well,
No, we'll read it.
yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we've actually not read an email on the air. But, also, if you're like Tom or Tony and want to try out to be a host on the show, you can send us an email with a short bio and a topic which you would like to do for a main topic. And yeah, we'll do like what Tom just did. And with that, we will get to our shout outs. So, Adriel, what do you got for shout out?
I'm going to shout out Tom for coming on and having a great time talking about the Uzis, the PRS shooting, and everything else.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for having me. Sorry I was almost late.
Fast should be late.
You were here before me.
Kelly, any shout outs?
Yeah, I have a whole bunch. So to Tom, thanks for coming on and great to see you. And again, thank you for always supporting us being Maple Seed. But I wanted to give a shout out to the crew and staff of the CCFR, as well as all the executive, for a fantastic AGM and the keynote speakers that we had. So Jim Shockey, and also the Justice Minister for Alberta. Great topics. And yeah, I wanted to say thank you to all Ontario CCFR members for, well, I guess they didn't really vote for me, I guess, because I was acclaimed, but 2 more years for the
So
Ontario
nobody ran against you.
No, I think. What does that say?
Everyone has
scared of
all
you.
their faith in you. That you're doing a great job, and yeah,
Oh, that's
they
better.
want to deny you the pleasure
that's not.
of holding that position.
So I'm up for another 2 years. I'm super excited about that. And I also wanted to say thank you to everybody that I saw at the AGM who came up and said hi, and that said that they listened to the show. And those include Tony, as I said, Will, and I also got to meet the infamous, or is it famous or infamous, Irish Will, who has been a longtime listener since the original Canadian Reload
Radio.
Yeah,
Reload
radio
Radio.
days. So I got to meet him too. So yeah, that's it for me. What about you, Tom? You gonna give anybody a shout out?
Well, to all you guys for putting up with me and being on here, and but maybe Tactical Imports for actually continuing to bring in the stuff we need to keep our firearms running, going through all the red tape and loops and hoops and whatever they need to do. Because like when I went on there, that was like last week. There was restricted barrels, parts kits, the top rail covers, a bunch of stuff for the BRS 99. And then I was on Gun Nuts the other night, and some guy was looking for magazines. I'm willing to pay $200 a mag. And then I went on Tactical Imports to see what they had left, and there was nothing. It was all sold out because they're $119 a mag.
Hmm.
And like stuff's not cheap, but you know, just got to keep checking, and they bring it in, so that's all right.
Yeah, see something, jump on
That's
it.
good.
Yeah, but no, I've been out of the shooting stuff for a while, so hopefully get back in and get out there more often.
For sure.
So yeah,
You took a while. You took some time also to do the dad thing.
yeah,
You
the
were
wrestling.
Yeah.
The wrestling was that took a lot of time and money, so
Yeah. Now
Yep.
it's time for you again.
now it's time for me. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna shout out listener Tyler for reaching out and clarifying those couple IPSC division things that I had said last week. And with that, we are going to sign off. So go join our Discord server, watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Player. Join the CCFR, and we will see you next week. Good night.
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 Good night, Kelly.